Hello, everyone. I'm Simon Keane-Cowell. I'm editor-in-chief at Architonic, and you may have seen my face over the last couple of days, and now you're thinking, oh, God, not this man again. Really, surely there's someone else who can do this, and there probably is. But luckily, they asked me. This is Mia Kepenek, who is the Zurich-based interior architect. And Mia has very kindly offered to talk to us today about the concept of luxury, which is, where's my phone? I took a picture earlier today of a screen grab of a statistic I found about the global luxury interior design market. It's projected this year, by year end, globally to reach, to make just short of $78 billion US, that's globally, 85 billion next year, and 175 billion US dollars globally by 2034. That's a year-on-year increase of 9%. So what am I saying by that? That luxury is important to think about, to contextualize, and this is why Mia is here. Just so by way of it, and I will stop talking in a second, just by way of introduction, this is a little biography of Mia. Mia is the founder and director of her own studio in Zurich, called Kepenek, established in 2012, specializing in corporate architecture, interior architecture and design, with a diverse background that includes a carpentry apprenticeship, studies in architecture, interior design and scenography, and experience as a stage designer for theatre and film. Mia brings a broad and imaginative perspective to her work. She delivers projects for both large companies and private clients, with a strong focus on creating considered interiors with a clear spatial identity and a sense of luxury. So let's start with that, Mia. What do we mean by luxury? How is the term luxury being traditionally understood?
So first of all, thank you for the invitation, Simon, and thank you for being here. And I have to admit, first of all, this luxury topic is very complicated. In my preparation for this talk today, I was like, oh my God, why did I say yes to come here? So after all, I'm here, and we try to talk about luxury, the traditional luxury and new silent luxury, what it means for the younger generations. And what you asked me before, it's the traditional luxury. So what you can see on the screen over there, it's always about things which embodies rarity, richness, quality, also in carpentry work, and in architecture or interior design, it's in fine materials still, and of course it expresses status. So rooms are made out for refreshing and also for exclusivity.
And it sort of goes beyond the everyday. So if we think about, what necessities, what we need, that's these are required, and luxury goes beyond that. And when we were talking about this, you said you wanted to delve into this idea of kind of a new type of luxury. What you described, I thought, was really interesting, silent luxury. And so what do you mean by that?
Yeah, it came up in my work, actually, in my projects. For this, in this image, you can see what I mean by silent luxury. It means minimalism on one side, authentic or genuine materials, and also quality. So it's a combination. It's also a dialogue between materials which talk to each other.
Well, why do you think this whole this idea of silent luxury? What is it responding to? So it's a phenomenon as you see it, and your work expresses it. But why now? Why has it even become a phenomenon?
For me, it's quite clear. It's about fast. It's a overwhelming, overstimulating world, And people or users want silent and calm surroundings, also rooms which have clarity and also in the right proportion and also with a genuine high-end quality which speaks to us.
So it's the idea of refuge, of calmness. But is it also something about the way what we want to experience in those spaces? So it's shared encounters, maybe?
Yeah, it enriches also the connection between people. What you can see, for example, in this image, it's a project of mine. It was a competition. And we tried to develop different rooms for the user. It's a private banking.
In Switzerland?
In Switzerland, exactly. And they wanted somehow a kind of a silent luxury. Because people who have a bank account over there, they can buy everything. So what they can't buy over there, it's experience. And this was also our briefing.
We think about private banking, we think, okay, the people who have a certain amount of capital or wealth would be an older demographic. But I think there's something interesting going on here with what a younger demographic what they want to experience, what a luxury experience delivered through spatial design would mean to them, right?
Yeah, of course. For example, younger generation, they're not looking for status, so it's the experience which is really very, very, very important for them.
What are we looking at here? Which project is this?
This is also a project in Zurich. On the right side, you can see the brand, Audemars. And what they wanted to bring in this very old traditional building, they wanted to give these younger generations new experiences. So I don't like this word, but it should be Instagrammable, which you can see here with this cloud.
Do you think there are a lot of brands are still behind the curve then?
They're still behind, of course, but it's beginning. There's a shift right now. Brands are trying to bring some new ideas, and this is what we can do as architects or interior designers to bring this shift also into life as a designer, and this is also our big chance to bring something new into the rooms. And also to their clients.
This is an absolutely beautiful and very graphic image. This is a photograph.
So this is a client. His hobby is collecting records.
Oh, quite clearly.
So you can see in the second image over there. So this was a kind of a goal. He bought a loft. The whole flat was full of these records. I mean, we are talking about over 20,000 records. And first of all, this was our main goal to bring these records somewhere that he can start to live in his own right. Yeah.
Just to go back to shifts in demographic shifts, what do you think? Do you think brands still misunderstanding what younger audiences want from physical spaces?
Sure, of course. It's very clear. For example, brands think that younger generations want status, they want prestige or somehow staged rooms. But this is not the reality anymore for this generation. In fact, they are looking for real experiences and connections and one-to-one exchange with other interesting people. This is what they want to have.
Let's think about, because at the top of this talk I mentioned the fact that you've delivered interiors projects for corporations. Tell me how you you tell the story of a brand.
Yeah, for example, when you have a look at the screen over there, we see material, we see light, we see textures, furniture, of course. They make this atmosphere somehow, and they're also transmitting some values also. into the room. And it's not about logo, and it's not about saying it very loud, I'm expensive.
So it's an act of translation rather than a kind of literal showing. So, I mean, if I would say to you that kind of design brand marketing, design as brand marketing is not something that you'd ever do. It's not something that would ever work, really.
I don't think design should be marketing. Design should be, first of all, design and not a marketing tool. So it's something for me. And spaces, they should create an atmosphere. They should touch people who are using this room. And this makes it honest also. So there's a honest relationship between the user, people, materials, and the connection.
Let's talk a bit about materials very quickly. So, I mean, I think I already know the answer to this, but tell us, make it explicit. What are your go-to materials?
For me, it's absolutely about genuine materials. For example, here you see stone, you see wood, you see real, authentic, genuine materials.
And this is, can you just tell us where this is, who the client is and what the space is?
Yeah, we all know maybe, it's Schindler Aufzüge.
You know, the big manufacturer of lifts.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the main flat. It's called Sky Lounge.
Okay.
And the briefing for that was, please give this Swissness from our brand identity, because it's a Swiss brand.
And am I right in thinking that this bar here at the front is, I mean, that screen Swissness, I mean, it looks like a piece of an Alp that's been hacked off, and is that the case?
Yeah.
That is true.
That is true, exactly. And I thought it quite poetic somehow to bring this piece of 60 tons, no, not 60, but it's 6 tons over the roof. And to,
oh my God.
It was a challenge, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you have a signature process? Do you have a tried and tested process that you follow for every project, or do you start from scratch every time?
Every time the same struggle. I'd have to say it's a struggle to work a real concept for this client, to think about the identity, the DNA of a brand and company, and to think about materials and a specific atmosphere that speaks their identity directly without using a logo. So this is a challenge always in my project.
And detail is very important, is it, in creating kind of atmosphere?
The details are always very, very important to me. What I did over there, it's an image, 2 images.
This is still Schindler, is it?
This is one of the project. We did three for them, and in this case, there was this beauty in creating in every detail something very specific for this company. Also with light, and of course with colors.
I mean, it's no surprise to me that you work like this, because, as I said at the start, you trained also as a carpenter. I mean, you have this very developed sense of materiality, of texture. For you, it seems it's very important. I mean, look at that. You see, there's a lot of expression of texture visually in your work, but I think it's also important for you you consider literal texture, the way things feel, their tactility, their haptic quality.
For example, this is the furniture, and I go just to the next image. It's also material, so it's kind of I say collage of different materials, which I try to combine in perfect proportion for this client.
So we've come to the end of Architonic talks at IDD. It's been fantastic and it's been emotional. Thank you very much.